but the Holocaust is being implemented. Black people have been murdered and genocided 50,000 times worse than what happened to y'all. And we are still I'm not done. Okay, let me give you the numbers. Arabs killed 40 million Africans. And that was just during the Arab slave trade. Then the Arabs educated Caucasoids on how to do it. Caucasians have killed over 100 million Indians alone, let alone Africans. So Arabs killed 40 million Africans. Arabs educated Caucasians how to do it. Caucasians, aka Spaniards, which are white people who speak Spanish because Spanish was created in Italy, came and then they killed 20 million Africans. And then the Dutch came and they killed 40 million. And then the British came and they killed 30 million. Then the British came back in the 1900s underneath Leopold and killed 14 million Africans in the early 1900s. Then Mussolini with Hitler came behind him and killed 40 million. And then when the Pilgrims came over here, the Dutch, the French, and the Spaniards was already over here murdering people. But then the European Pilgrims came and they killed 100 million just off zoonotic diseases and bad hygiene. So if we were to add up the body count of black people in comparison with the Holocaust, I don't honestly want to hear that shit. You got more black people in jail today around the world than that can compete with amount of Jews that died during the Holocaust. So my main thing is, if and I'm not saying that the Holocaust was good, but what I'm saying is, y'all trying to do with y'all trying to use the Holocaust the same way that the LGBTQ is trying to use gay rights. Y'all are trying to put y'all plights out of order. Yes, you have a plight, but you got to respect rank and file. The Holocaust is not the number one historical horrible event. It's like number 2 or 3. What happened to us is horrible. And I'll tell you why. Even though your history is completely made the fuck up, I don't want to hear shit about the Holocaust. Now, when we get justice, then we can give you justice. But here's the thing. How did y'all skip the line? Not only did you get justice, you get a minimum of $3 billion from this country every year. We giving y'all $10.5 million a day to help y'all set up a land that y'all not even from. And we are from this land. We are from America. We are from Africa. We are from it. We was here first all around the world and we don't get shit. And so I don't really want to hear nothing about the Holocaust, but keeping it moving. Okay. Israel, right?
Sorry, Brackta Yahweh, Brackta Hawashai, Kala Bash, Hawashai, Bash, Now Kakadash, the Ronak, the Elder Patra, Great Milton Rule Will, the stereotypation of Ashen that put to the truth across the four corners of the earth, to the fear and power, how Bash, Now Shai, the hope of it, and who the world innerly called God is named Yahweh, and who the world innerly calls Jesus Christ, named Hawashai, and whether he would like and consist of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indians. It's Mahari call from the Great Millstone Los Angeles camp of the Inland Empire region. And you heard, I believe it go by Young Pharaoh. He be bug out, but I'll put it in post production. He's right. Alright. The small hatters, alright, so called Holocaust, is incomparable to what the children of Israel had went through. Alright. These so-called Negro, Latino, and Americans. Alright. Like I said, it's the number one. Alright. As far as a nation of people being killed, the incarceration of Jake in the prison is far more exceedingly more than the small hatter supposedly got killed in or was an Auschwitz camp. Far more exceeding. Okay, like he was saying, we got it the worst. All right, and the scripture to go into it. Okay, This is Daniel 9:3. And I set my faith unto the Lord Yahweh to seek by prayer and supplication with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. And I prayed unto the Lord Yahweh my power. It made my confession instead, O Lord, the great and dreadful power, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him and to them that keep his commandment. We have sinned and have committed iniquities and have done wickedly and have rebelled even by departing from thy precept and from thy judgments. All right, the law, statute, commandments. All right, not executing the judgment. It will do it wickedly. Neither have we hearken unto thy servant the prophet, because the prophet was sent out to warn the people. All right, read, uh, you know, First King, Second King, Joshua. Israel was going off and kept going into captivity, and the prophet was being sent out warning them. All right, neither have we hearkened unto thy servant the prophet, which spake in thy name to our king, our princes. Yeah, because the king was being wicked too. All right, and our princes and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee. Okay, but confusion of faces. All right, basically being shameful, being shamed. All right, that's what it means. At at this day, to the men of Judah, all right, still called Negro, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel, all right, the northern and southern kingdom, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the country whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass, that they have trespassed against thee. All right, because we were scattered amongst these different nations, all right, going into captivity. All right, because we were going off. Okay. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion, shame. Okay. Oh, wait. What's this? Oh, it's saying it again. O Lord, to us belongs confusion of faith, to our kings, to our princes, and to our father, because we have sinned against thee. To the Lord our power, Yahweh, belong mercy and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord, Yahweh our power, to walk in his law, which he set before us by his servant the prophets. Yet all Israel had transgressed thy law, even by departing that they might not obey thy voice. So we wasn't following the law, that's commandments. And we read Baruch 4. All right, very good chapter explaining that whole chapter, explaining why we went into captivity. All right, why he judged us so hard. Okay, let's start Baruch chapter 4. Let's go to chapter 4. It's, what's the heck? What's the 4? Oh, that's not. All right, Baruch chapter 4 and 1. This is the book of the commandment of the Yahweh and the law that endure forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. I'm going to jump down to verse 6. Ye were sold to the nation. All right, plural, because we went into different captivities. Not for your destruction, but because ye moved the house of wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemy. So the Lord's the one that did this, all right? And that's what the people that don't have the understanding, that not in the know, they don't understand that the Lord's the one that put us into captivity. All right, because we went off. All right, Deuteronomy 28. All right. You go to 15. It said, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord, Yahweh shall try thy power to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee. come upon thee. Where you at? Come upon thee and overtake thee. All right, so that's what happens. All right, we were warned. If we were to go off, we would have to deal with these curses. And you read 15 all the way down to 58. Them small hatters, the 1948ers. All right, them Khazar, Amalekite, they ain't deal with none of these curses. Okay, and the curses would show who were the children of Israel. All right, it was to be a sign to identify it. All right, and this time was the latter time who were the children of Israel. Okay, because they didn't go into slave ship like verse 58 said. Okay, now it said, figure it out. Here it is right here. Deuteronomy 28 and 49, the Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. All right, was the Edomite, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. All right, and the Lord did that. That's why it said, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee. All right, because we want to move the Lord to wrath, like it's read in Baruch. All right, 4 and 6. All right. Back in Baruch 4 and 7. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devil and not to Yahweh. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. All right, like I said, read this whole chapter. You get an understanding why we are in the situation that we're in right now. It's the results and the effects of not following the law, statutes, commandments. All right, now let's go back to Daniel 9, where we left off at. Daniel 9:11. Yeah, all Israel had transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us. And the curse, as you can read in Deuteronomy 28, 15 on down, where we just came from. All right. And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, because we have sinned against him. All right. Moses said, choose this day, choose life or death. Follow the law, that commandment, which is choose life, or not to follow the law, that commandment, which was death. Okay. And he had confirmed his words, which he spake against us. All right, look at the word confirm. The Hebrew word is quam, to rise, to stand, to be fit to endure, to be established. Because there's a day here, man, he shall not lie. All right. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it. Which he spake against us and against our judges that judge us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven, all right, the whole heaven had not been done as had been done upon Jerusalem. See that? So like some Pearl was saying, it's the stuff we went through is incomparable to what specifically the 1948er went through. All right, the small hatter, incomparable. Can you compare it to it? That's like trying to compare Earth to Jupiter. If you know how big Jupiter is, that's the liking of the captivities. All right, the atrocities, the murder that we went through as the nation of Israel. All right. Now instead, I thought this was interesting. All right, when you go to for under, it said the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans and the condition of the Jews during almost 18th centuries have far more exceeded all the misery of the capture of Jerusalem by the Chaldeans and in the Babylonian captivity than those miseries exceeded the judgment inflicted on other nations. See that? So the stuff that we had dealt with was far more exceeded than the other nations. All right, the heathen nations. All right, and I thought that was interesting. They put that in there, show you that these scholars knows that the hell we went through is can you be compared to. All right, it said Lamentations 2:17, the Lord Hallelujah had done that which he had devised. He had fulfilled his word, which was the prophecy that he had commanded in the days of old. He had thrown down and had not pity, and he had caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He had set up the horn of thy adversary, with the power of the adversary. He's the one that put it on the other nation and gave him the power to take it down. Okay? That's Lamentation 4. Instead, for the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom. See that? And Sodom was Canaanite. They were heathen. But what we did was far greater. The punishment we received was far greater than, and Sodom got destroyed by brimstone. But the stuff that we got punished was far more greater than that. Okay? For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. All right, it couldn't be saved from the destruction. All right. It's Amos 3:2. Start at 1. Amos 3:1. Hear this word that the Lord Hallelujah has spoken against you, O children of Israel, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, against the whole families which I brought up from the land of Egypt. Then you only have I known of all the family of the earth. All right, cause we're his, uh, the nature of people that he chose. All right, just read that in Deuteronomy chapter 7. All right, how he chose us. In fact, let me get it. Or is it 6 and 7? No, it's 7 and 6. It said, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord. How about that? Holy just simply means separated. Okay, we were separated unto the Lord Yahweh. Thy power, the Lord Yahweh by outside. Thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And that's, you could interchange that with families, all right, that we just came from Amos 3. The Lord Yahweh outside did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because ye were more in numbers than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord Yahweh outside love you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, all right, starting with Abraham, then unto Isaac, and then unto Jacob. Okay. Hath the Lord Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, all right, captivity, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Okay. I'd go back. Amos 3 and 2 again. You only have I known of all the family of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. And that's why he strictly laid the hammer down as far as our punishment. Okay? Like young Pharaoh was saying, the shit we went through is incomparable to what the small hatter, the 1948er, went through. Alright? So I'm going to leave it at that. And long well, and this was informative, edifying to the fear and power of Yahweh shall shine with that. I want to say Tawada Yahweh, Tawada Yahweh Shai, Shalom.